Wilson here, and I have a very classic Christmas card with a little bit of bling to it, I have to say. But we're going to show you how you can tone in your colors using the sparkle texture paste in today's video. The dies I'll be using are the classic Poinsettia, as well as the new mini Three Wise Men Striplet. It's absolutely beautiful. So first thing I'm going to show you is the Wavy mask that I've gone ahead and taped onto a piece of black card with some removable tape. Now I like to put the tape all the way around it to really hold it into place. So I always do opposite sides and opposite sides. So I've got one left to do here. So I'm going to pull off a piece of removable tape and just catching the edge of the mask and not into the design. I've got all four sides taped. Now this does a couple things. It holds it down nice, plus it kind of keeps that area clean. So if you want to use a little bit of a border around it, you can do that. Now I've actually cut mine very tight, so if I get it a little messy, it's not really a problem. But now let's take the Silver Moon Sparkle Texture Paste, and this comes in 41 beautiful colors, and you can just see all that gorgeous glitter in there. I love it. And I use a plastic palette knife with mine. Now the thing is, when you're doing any kind of sparkle texture paste, it's a wet medium and you're on card, so you want to work quickly. So let's get a bit out, pop it into the corners, and don't worry about getting too much. You can always put it back in, and then just take it and spread it down the length of your mask there. There we go. Catch all those little corners. And let's smooth this out. Get into that nice little corner up there. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to start to remove a bit of it and put it back into my container. Just with a light motion going across the top of that mask, I'm going to take off the extra bit. You don't want to waste it. There we go. You can even go around the edge and take off the little bit that's on the tape. I don't reuse my tape when I use sparkle texture paste, but if you really need, I suppose you could. So that's pretty good. Okay, so next, let's take and clean that off of our knife. We don't want that to dry. There we go. Put that to the side, and I'm going to start to peel up my tape. Take that one, and then I work opposite sides. So I've still got two sides taped down nicely. And let's turn this. There we go. Now when I get this side up, I like to hold that into place with my pokey tool. Peel that back. There we go. And then this last one can kind of act as a hinge. So we're just going to peel that up. Okay? And then we'll very carefully get a hold of that and peel it away. Just go slow. There we go. There we go. And then the other thing you want to make sure is to take this off of your mask. You don't want it drying on there. So I'm going to set this to the side and just give it a nice wipe down with a grime boss. Take it right off of that. If you're at home, put it under your tap and get it, with a little bit of a scrub and take all of that off of there. You don't want that drying onto your mask at all. That'll work. And let me just tidy this up. There we go. So you can see how beautiful is that. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now this needs to dry, and depending on the weather and whatnot, an hour, 2 hours probably is about the max, I would say, and then you can use that. The one thing I like to do when I'm doing a bit of sparkle texture paste is do a whole bunch together and kind of like in a, just a piecemeal, do different colors and whatnot, and then they're ready to go whenever you want them. Okay, so next what I've done is I've taken that background, I've trimmed it down to size, and I've added a little bit of a, just a scored bottom onto that. I like to have a tiny bit of a gap between them as like a border. So I've just cut a piece of white card there. I'm going to put a little teeny bit of glue down it. Let me get that all the way to the end there. There we go. And it's just going to act as a nice border to that. And I'm going to place that right over the top there. And then I'm just going to bend those back around there. Okay, so there is my background ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and put this onto a piece of backing that I've created earlier with some piercing, you know, as I do. And I've got a little bit of a black mat on there. So that will be ready to go when I get there. Gorgeous. There, stick that right in like that. Okay, so set that aside. Now the next thing I went ahead and did was I cut the Wise Men Striplet, and I cut it out of black card, and I just backed it with a little bit of white. Okay, very, very simple to do. I've created a frame, and how I've done that is I've just cut two pieces of white card, and there's a little bit of tape between them holding them in place. And I've got just a kind of about a 1/4 inch border between them. So what I want to do is find the outside cutting edge to my striplet. I'm going to center that right into the middle here. A little bit of tape. Just get it lined up. And I'm going to pop that into place. And I'm going to run that through and cut both of them at once, and that'll keep it nice and even. There we go. Check and make sure you've cut through, yes. So now what I have is my tape is in the middle here, so I have two loose pieces, or at least I should. Put that back. So I can put a little bit of mounting foam in between those, and I can create a really pretty frame for my striplet. So don't forget that you can use the outside cutting edge to create the inside of a frame. So I've just put a little bit of mounting foam on the back of it, and I'm going to seat that over the Three Wise Men that I've cut previously. Let me lean in and get that nice and centered. There we go. Oop, a little bit off. Okay, so I can go ahead and add that onto my card, and I'll just put a couple pieces of mounting foam on the back there, and that should hold that into place. And we'll just add a little bit of glue because we have that sparkle texture paste. And anytime you have glitter, you're going to want to put some glue on there to get it nice and securely attached. Okay, so that will sit just like that. Now, one of the problems I had was I didn't have any silver card that matched that. And the only silver card I had, I thought was just a little bit too bland. So let me show you what else you can do. You can take your sparkle texture paste and find where I put my knife, and you can just add a little bit to this and coat your flower and let that dry. I've got a piece of wax paper on there. There we go. A little bit around the edge there. Get all of those petals. So now that is going to dry and tone in absolutely beautifully with my background. And I just pick that up, and I'll let it dry off the side of where I've originally put the paste on there, so it doesn't actually dry with big globby pieces. So next, what I do is I've got two of them, and I'm just going to offset them a little bit with some glue. And I've got a little black dazzler in the center of there. Make sure that's nice and adhered. Just give it a little bit of forming with your fingers. You can give it a pinch around all the petals. So bring our card back over here. And I've done two of them out of different sizes. Make sure that stays. A little bit of white tulle, because that makes a nice little area to seat your flowers on. Pop that into place. I'm just going to put that right about like that. And we'll use some more glue dots and take our larger poinsettia. We'll put that right about like that. And I'll put the smaller one on top of my tulle. So now what I have is a beautiful card, a lot of bling to this, but it really does pick up that background and accentuate it. How pretty is that? I just love the way that looks. Very traditional. You've got your black and white and silver for Christmas, but a bit of bling, so it really catches your eye. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. We have a lot of videos on our YouTube channel for creative expressions, so I do hope you'll tune in and watch some more.